The man who claims to be Jay-Z's son is back in the headlines, and this time, he's not just demanding answers. He's demanding justice. His name is Rymir Satterthwaite, a 30-year-old from New Jersey who has spent most of his life fighting a silent battle that the world is only now beginning to pay attention to. According to Rymir, he's the product of a short-lived affair between Jay-Z, known legally as Sean Corey Carter, and his then 16-year-old mother, Wanda Satterthwaite, back in 1992. Jay-Z would have been 22 at the time. What followed was a decades-long legal and emotional roller coaster that has spanned state courts, family court, and now, a federal lawsuit. This is not just a paternity case. This is a story about power, silence, alleged legal manipulation, and one man's relentless quest for the truth. Rymir's mother, Wanda, passed away in 2016, but she spent over 20 years trying to get the courts to force Jay-Z to take a paternity test. When she died, the legal fight didn't die with her. It was picked up by Rymir's godmother and legal guardian, Lily Coley, who has been like a second mother to him. And now, in 2025, Rymir has officially taken the battle to federal court. In a lawsuit filed this May, he accuses Jay-Z and Coley of using fraudulent schemes to obstruct justice and keep the truth buried. He is not seeking child support. What he wants, he says, is far more personal, emotional damages, compensation for reputational harm, legal costs, and most importantly, a jury trial. He wants a courtroom to finally force a paternity test. The complaint is intense. It outlines how, over the years, Jay-Z's legal team allegedly manipulated jurisdictional procedures, moved court filings behind the scenes, and used their influence to keep Rymir from getting a fair shot in court. It even claims that Rymir suffered acts of intimidation. His car, he says, was shot at 6 times in an alleged scare tactic. Rymir says all of this was designed to keep him quiet, to exhaust his resources, and to protect the image of one of the most powerful men in the music industry. Let's be clear, Jay-Z has never taken a DNA test to confirm or deny paternity. And that, to Rymir, speaks volumes. Jay-Z's legal team finally responded publicly on June 16. In newly filed court papers, they did not mince words. They called Rymir's lawsuit part of a decades-long harassment campaign driven by fabricated allegations. They claim the case is just the latest chapter in a series of lawsuits that have already been dismissed by courts over the years. In fact, they say one such case resulted in a contempt ruling against Rymir's side for continuing to file frivolous motions. They allege that Rymir's mother already named a different man on his birth certificate, and that Jay-Z has no obligation to respond to these claims, because the legal system has spoken. But that's not the end of the story. Rymir's side argues that the system never really heard their voice. They claim that Jay-Z's lawyers played legal chess, moving the case from court to dodge any real DNA testing. In one filing, they accused Jay-Z's team of calling Coley to schedule a deposition, only to abruptly hang up when she began asking questions. Rymir alleges that this lawsuit isn't about fame or money, it's about truth. In his words, "I've been denied the right to know who I am. I deserve that much." He says he's not interested in Jay-Z's fortune, just a test, a result, and some closure. The public reaction has been mixed. On social media, some people are rallying behind Rymir, pointing out the striking resemblance and demanding Jay-Z just take the test and end this. Others are more skeptical, questioning the timing, the lack of definitive proof, and the legal merits of a case that's been kicked around the courts for decades. But the emotional weight of the story is undeniable. Imagine growing up not knowing if one of the most iconic figures in pop culture is your father, and knowing that a simple swab could change everything, but never getting it. Critics argue that if Jay-Z truly has nothing to hide, why not just take the test and put it all to rest? His legal team, however, argues that they have no legal obligation to dignify what they call baseless accusations. They say this has gone on long enough, and they've asked the federal court to not only dismiss the case, but to prohibit Rymir and Coley from filing any more harassing lawsuits against him. As of now, the court has not issued a final ruling. Jay-Z's team was granted an extension to file a formal response, and legal experts say the judge could dismiss the case or allow it to move forward to discovery, which could open the door to a long-awaited DNA test. But until that happens, we are stuck in the same place we've been for years. One man claiming to be Jay-Z's son, and one of the most powerful figures in entertainment refusing to acknowledge him. This is a story about more than celebrity. It's about identity, justice, and the power imbalance between a billionaire mogul and a man who just wants to know the truth. Whether Rymir's claims are true or not, the fact that this case has lasted over 20 years, through multiple courts, and remains unresolved in 2025 is a saga in itself. The question remains, will Jay-Z ever take the test? Or will this be another chapter in a book that may never get its final page? Make sure to like, subscribe, and stay tuned for more celebrity updates just like this.